This is crazy.
Yeah, so then I just kind of hold it out like this,
Okay.
or, you know, sometimes I'll train it on you or bring it back here. So
All right.
however you want to do
This
it.
is the future, man.
This is, we have stepped into the future,
Yeah.
Bradley
This
Jackson.
is wild. Wild.
Yeah, and look where we are. So we are in Los Angeles.
Yes.
We are in the Glassell Park.
Glassell Park neighborhood adjacent to Mount Washington and Glendale and
Eagle Rock, right?
Eagle Rock, yep. East LA, man. This is where it happens out here.
I love it. And we've got a beautiful morning.
It's gorgeous
Here.
today. My goodness.
Look at this. We've got trees just blooming.
Popping. It's been raining like crazy. This neighborhood just gets green and lush if it rains for more than like one day. So we'll go this way.
Okay, yeah, I'm following you here. So you and I was thinking on my way over when the first time you and I would have met, and I can't recall it.
Well, I used to work with your sister.
oh
at
my gosh.
Compass Learning.
Oh my gosh, right.
Yes.
Yes,
but I
which
think
was an educational company,
Yes.
and she wrote content for
Yeah.
the website that basically schools would license to,
Yes.
you know, if you're having trouble
Yes.
with algebra or something.
Yes, we had the same job. She was better at it than I was and had been doing it longer, and I think
Yes, my sister is 3 years younger than I am.
Right.
And I affectionately refer to her as the finer Steiner. She's the preferred Steinbauer.
yes.
She's funnier, better looking, smarter. Yeah,
Agree to all of those things.
it's very annoying.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think I knew of you via UT
Right.
because you were a TA, I believe, when I was a senior.
Okay. So
And-
you went to the radio, television, film department at UT for
Undergrad.
undergrad, and
Yes.
what years would that have been?
That would have been 2004 through 2007.
Oh, that's exactly when I was in grad school.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So I believe you were working on, I had heard tell of Winnebago Man. And I think I saw a trailer or a short or something you did that was not the final version. While
made
I
a
was
short version of it for my senior thesis
Yes.
project in grad school, and then I made
Yes.
the feature after I
Yes.
graduated.
And then were you working with Bear at the time?
Yeah, we started our company, The Bear,
Right.
in grad school.
Right.
We didn't technically like get the paperwork
Okay.
filed and everything till after we graduated, but we were basically working on each other's films, and we had done a couple of commercial jobs.
Okay. I
Yes.
think I saw a short that he did, and I would there are parts of it that I remember, but I just remember being so impressed by it. So I think like the two of you guys, I was like, oh, these guys are like actual filmmakers, and I'm just like a poser.
On your left.
You're listening to DocWalks with Ben and Keith.
And then, yeah, I think I'm sure we had like said hello to each other or met, but I have a very distinct memory of, I was working with your sister at the time. I had just graduated college.
Okay.
South by Southwest was happening and Winnebago Man was in the festival. And I really wanted to see it. I like tried to like leave work early, but I couldn't. And then I got to the Alamo Drafthouse downtown. I was in the standby line and they weren't, I was literally like second or third person from getting in, and they said we're cut off. And I was mad. I was upset because I'd been waiting for like 2 hours or an hour.
Yeah, and this is
And
like
then-
this is the Draft House South, and I think we were in like a small.
No, this is
theater.
downtown.
Oh, downtown.
This is
okay.
downtown. I have a very vivid memory because you walked up and I was like, oh my God, I know Ben, he's the director. And then you saw me and you said, hey, Bradley, do you want to come in? Do you remember this?
No, I don't.
I
remember.
remember it clear as day because I felt so cool. Because I was like, the director, like, it's like, I knew you knew me, but you're about to premiere your movie.
Yeah.
And you were just like, hey, come on in. And I had to sit like super, super front row because all the good seats were taken. But I remember being like, it was like a very cool moment because not only that, but like the movie is so good.
Oh man.
and
I'm
so funny.
I'm
And
so glad we're doing this walk. You're really
Yeah.
waxing my car here.
Yeah,
I
let's
did
go over
not
here.
I did not remember this at all.
oh, I remember it very, very, very vividly.
Man,
Yeah,
amazing.
It was cool.
And so, wow. Okay, so we met through my sister.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like through UT also, because
Yes, I think.
grad school was like
Did you work with Scott Rice at all?
he's a friend, and I never worked on any of his projects, but
Okay.
he was a professor
Okay.
of our screenwriting class.
Right.
So I've known him for a long time, and you guys were really tight, right? Because
Yes.
like looking at your list of credits,
Right.
I was thinking on the way over here, this is a podcast about documentary filmmaking.
Right.
And I was like, I was thinking you're a very interesting guest to have because you are primarily a screenwriter. You also have written some young adult novels
Yes.
too, right?
Yeah.
And you make these great character-driven documentaries as a producer, writer, and director
Yes.
of documentaries.
Yes.
So how do you think of yourself? Like when you introduce yourself to somebody for the first time, how do you talk about yourself as a filmmaker?
I just say the word filmmaker.
Okay.
I think here's the little.
Oh yeah, here we
hanging
should
path.
flip this around here. Look at where we are.
Yeah.
We are on like a magical
Yeah.
hiking trail.
Hopefully it won't get as more muddy than this.
I know. I did say I was
Yeah.
like,
You're wearing
Bradley,
white
I wore
shoes.
white shoes. Are you sure it's not going to be muddy? And you said
I don't think so, but I don't know. But we'll give it a go.
we're going to give it a go. And New Balance, if you're listening, yeah, I could use some new white shoes.
I've thought of myself as a writer first and foremost.
So that's where your like true love lies. Like if you could do
Yes.
one thing, you would be a writer director.
Well, I think so, yes. You know, it's kind of like the grass is always greener. When I'm struggling with a writing project, I'm like, I wish I could be in the mix on a documentary. And when I'm like swarmed by like trying to like navigate the chaos of a documentary, I'm like, I wish I could just sit alone in a room and write.
So you always want to be doing the thing that you're not doing.
Yeah, more or less. I'm consistently unhappy with my entire lot in life.
Well, that sounds like a creative person's
Yeah.
temperament.
No, I got into documentary filmmaking on a very much of a. I had a good friend who had funding for at the time what we thought was going to be a short documentary, where we would go to London to make a short documentary about a British aristocrat.
Yes, and this is Luke Korem.
This is Luke Korem, director of Dealt and Milli Vanilli, and many a great film. But Luke at the time had only done some like commercials and some smaller things, and I guess he thought he needed a writer
For the documentary.
somebody who understood story structure and whatever. And I just happened to be the person that he knew. And
And how did you guys know each other?
we knew each other through a mutual friend, Jacob Hamilton, who's a very talented cinematographer.
Right, who lives in
Who
Austin.
lived in Austin and was the DP for my first documentary that I directed.
Which is called
Facing Nolan.
Facing Nolan, about
Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan, the famous Texas pitcher
Yes.
who has the most strikeouts of any pitcher in Major League history.
Yes. So Luke was like, do you want to work on this documentary? And I was like, I mean, I'll talk to you about it, but I'm not a documentary person.
Right.
And then like he started being like, well, I can pay you and we're going to go to London to film. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm in, of course. Like the thought of getting paid and also getting to go to London as a 24-year-old was like, this is like, you know, a gift from above. And so, yeah, I mean, true to his word, we got funding, and we were in like these like mid-sized castles in England filming with aristocrats, like these kind of,
Wow.
not to be rude, like old stuffy British dudes.
Uh-huh.
And we're like these like 24-year-old Texans. And I just felt a deep sense of that I don't belong here, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's such a great feeling. I feel like every documentary filmmaker should have that feeling.
I think you're right, but I want to figure out why that's a good thing for documentarians to be uncomfortable and feel like they don't belong.
I think it should be because you're curious about something, and you're usually curious about something you don't really know that much about. Like I've worked on documentaries and made documentaries about British aristocracy, magic, sports betting, pop music, and professional baseball.
Yeah,
I'm bad at, I can't do any of those things. Like I'm not good. There's no way I could be good at any of those things, but I am curious about them. And so I think like you just have to like, I remember there was a day on FACING NOLAN where I was going to interview Randy Johnson, who's like,
oh, the big unit.
the big unit, the great, maybe one of the greatest pitchers of all time. And he's 6'11".
Wow.
And he has a voice that's like deeper than, you know, the Mariana Trench. And like, he just, and I was just like, what the heck am I doing here?
Right.
I'm so scared of this guy. But it was great. It was, I mean, he was super nice. And
Yeah.
you want to have that feeling of like, so here's a great view.
Look at this. Okay, so we are facing which direction here?
I don't know. I'm bad at directions.
But that looks like a major free. Oh, and there's Griffith Park. So the observatory is right
Yeah, you can
there
see the
on the far
observatory.
hill, which means the Hollywood sign would be
should
just to
on
the
other
left
s-
of it.
Yeah, you cannot see the Hollywood sign from here, but
Oh yeah, because
on a clear day, yeah, you can see the observatory. It's incredible.
Wow, this is really beautiful.
Yeah,
This is kind of a well-kept secret over here.
it really is. Again, I did not know this place. I've lived in this neighborhood for 7-8 years, and I did not know this existed for the first 4 years. So,
Wow,
and
this
it's
is
like
really cool.
right next to my house.
And do you know anybody who lives on the ridge here? This looks like there might be some like famous people with big houses up there.
No, I don't know anyone else over there.
Yeah.
I did go tour one just for fun. That was like for sale for like almost $2 million. And I was like, LOL, I will not be able to afford this at all.
Well, but that was probably before all that documentary money.
Oh, you
came
know that documentary
pouring
money,
in
just like a flood.
like it does.
Yes.
Which is why we're all in this business.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, so you were feeling out of place. You're in London.
Yeah.
You're in a mid-sized castle.
Yeah, a mid-sized castle, premium economy castle.
You're with your friend
Right.
making a documentary.
About a British aristocrat who started a car museum and was put in prison in the 50s for being bisexual.
Wow.
And so like it's like things that I don't like, crazy subject matters that as a 24-year-old I'm like, how am I supposed to be the person that tells this like gut-wrenching life story? But
Right.
you just gotta say, I mean, what am I gonna say? No?
Well, so knowing that you want to be a screenwriter
Mm-hmm.
and finding yourself in that position, what's going through your head at that moment?
Fake it so you make it. Honestly, like I think that's like you gotta like, you know, be calm on the outside, and you can have your panic attacks on the inside, but purely from like a craft standpoint, I'm just trying to think, I think a good story is a good story is a good story, whether it's completely cut from your imagination you're putting on the page versus it happened to somebody in real life. So there's all the benchmarks. There's rising action, there's falling action, there's inciting incidents, there's turning points.
Right.
So I think being a documentary filmmaker, so much of it is about structure. Because the dialogue's being written for you by the people you're talking to.
Right.
You can write narration, which you have, I've written narration, like that's a way to kind of put your stamp on some things. But,
Yeah. To frame it.
but like structure, and that's when you also learn that like structure is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's probably the hardest thing too.
So it
So-
sounds like you working as a writer on this documentary paid off really well. Oh wait, hang on. Let's look at this.
Oh yeah.
Let's look at this view here. Wow.
Yeah.
This is why we are panting and out of breath
Yeah.
during this podcast. It is because I'm also out of shape. And we are climbing up the side
Yeah.
of a pretty tall
We'll
hill
go a
here.
tiny bit higher here in a second too.
Okay.
To get an even better view.
Just so we can really
And then
give,
that'll be the last like super high up.
just so we can really give the listeners at home a
Yeah.
taste of
A taste
how out of
of
shape we are.
breath and whatnot. Yeah. Toter.
Oh man. Okay, so not to keep on this linear career track, but
Right.
I'm curious how you go from making this first documentary that feels like you're out of place, you don't
Right.
even know if you want to be making documentaries, to now having produced, what, 5?
I think yeah.
And-
Yeah, sure.
And directed a feature
Yes, correct.
documentary.
Yes.
So what was it, I guess, about the documentary bug that bit you so thoroughly and made you want to keep doing this?
I think it's just, we'll turn around now too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that this is the end of the road for this trail. I think it's just, it's intoxicating. When you discover a story, I'm sure you felt this.
Here, should we sit here for a sec?
Oh, sure. Great. Love it. I've actually never sat on these benches before.
Look at this.
Like, I'm sure you feel this when you're making Winnebago Man. Like, it's intoxicating.
Oh, they're kind of wet. Here, maybe we stand.
Yeah, we can stand. Yeah, it's intoxicating when you're discovering like a story that not many people know.
Yeah,
And you're like, oh, you found some sort of secret.
right. Well, it's interesting when you mentioned all the different subject matters
Mm-hmm.
of the docs that you have helped make,
Mm-hmm.
either as a producer or director, and there doesn't seem to be any one thing that sort of ties them together. So
Sure.
what is it that you're looking for in a documentary project?
Oh, great question. I think I like a central character that has like blind confidence sometimes. I think that's really fun.
Who's like a hero in their own mind, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I like somebody achieving things that people think are impossible.
Like a blind magician.
Like a blind magician or a 44-year-old man throwing a no-hitter. I also like exploring like worlds that I don't know. So like sports gambling or pop music. I love music. I love sports, but I don't know much about like the inner workings of producers and pop music. I just like to listen to pop music.
Right.
And then I don't know much about sports gambling, but I love watching sports and I watch sports all the time. So
Yeah.
like I love finding little niches.
So it's sort of like
Sort
a
of.
great central character and then an interesting world that
Yeah.
you get to learn about in the process of
Yeah,
making something.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I think one of the reasons I was so excited to talk to you is that I think we're similar in that way, where I'm looking for unfolding action a lot of the
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
most subjects that I'm attracted to for whatever reason have something happening that I can then go follow. Because I
Yes.
love that experience as a viewer where you are taken on a ride
Right.
with the filmmaker and you get the sense like, oh, they don't know where this is going. And it's kind of a
That's
leap of
really
faith.
fun.
So fun,
Yeah.
right?
Totally.
And so I've always been taken with that. So I'm always looking for like, what is about to happen or what is the character trying to achieve that is going to be difficult that I could
Right.
follow. You know, with making funny documentaries, that's such a bizarre thing. And when I tell people that's what I do, they literally don't understand a lot of the time.
That's funny. Okay.
But to me, it's the most natural thing in the world because life is very comedic. And I feel like
Yes.
anybody who's told somebody a story at a bar or a dinner party or whatever, the stories are usually comedic. And that's what holds the audience and like
Right.
it makes for a good story. So
Because
I see
comedy,
them very similar.
the best comedy is subversion of expectation.
Right. So it's
And-
surprising.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I think Winnebago Man was at the time and might still be either the funniest or one of the 3 or 4 funniest documentaries I've ever seen.
Man, we
It
should go on
makes
walks more often.
me
brother. I
laugh.
love it.
So hard.
Well, he was amazing. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
that's your character. That's your
Right,
central character.
Right.
Totally,
It was
totally.
nothing that I did. He
No.
was so funny. And I think whenever I'm looking for material, I just trust like, oh, this person is funny. So I
Right.
don't need to make them funny. There's
Right.
nothing I need to add to it.
Right.
What I'm looking for is like the emotional center of like, why will people care about this?
Right.
What is the authentic sort of human thing that they're wrestling with that's
Right.
relatable to people? And then the funny stuff will take care of itself if you've cast a funny person and put them in an interesting situation.
Totally. I'm thinking of Luke and I's documentary about Richard Turner. Richard Turner is a blind magician. He's the greatest card magician in the world, and he's blind. So that's the crazy story. But
And this is in the film Dealt.
the movie's called Dealt. But the other thing about Richard is he's just always trying to do something new. So he's like a black belt in karate. He works out for 3 hours a day. He's doing all these exciting things. He's going to a shooting range. But the biggest laugh in the whole movie is like, I think Luke went over to film one day and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, my son and I are building a knife board. So we're going to go throw knives in the backyard."
Right. I remember
And
that.
this is a fully blind man going to throw knives with his 16-year-old son.
Right.
And Luke's just filming. And like, it's not even that, like, nothing really story-wise is happening, but we put it in the movie because it's such a great example of like how much of something funny is going to happen. So he's throwing knives at the wall, at this cutting board. And all of a sudden his little dog gets near where the knife board is. And every time we showed it in the theaters, the audience would go, "Oh," and he would throw it and the knife doesn't stick in the board and it falls down. And you hear the dog go, "Oh!" And everyone goes, "Oh no." And then you see the dog like scamper away and he's fine. But it just is this like moment of tension and release. You don't expect a blind man to be throwing knives, and you don't expect a cute little lap dog to be running in there.
Oh, that's amazing.
Anyway, sorry, that just...
No, that's so great. And that's that surprise element that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's also like an interesting world where you knew this character was trying to do things that only sighted people do, and
Yes.
that's going to be interesting to watch him do it
Yes.
no matter, but you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
And that's, to me, what I find so fulfilling about making documentaries is sort of the trust that you have to have that something interesting will happen.
Right.
And then when it does, at least for me, it's always better than what I'm guessing
Yes.
might occur.
It's a rush.
Right?
It's
And
euphoria.
yeah, and so then you're like, oh, life is funnier than anything I could actually come up with. And
100%.
that is somehow like deeply reassuring in some way to me.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, what do you think? Should we head back?
Let's keep, we'll
right.
go, we'll finish the loop.
I like it. So, okay, so I want to get to Facing Nolan.
Yes.
Because I love that movie.
Oh, thank you.
And I also love baseball.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to hear from you. So you produce a few docs.
Yeah.
And then you have an idea.
Yeah.
For Facing Nolan. So how did you go from a producer of a few feature docs to a director?
I had the idea for Facing Nolan, and I think I just had, and I wasn't like thinking about me directing it. Let's go this way.
Okay.
I think I had a couple people in my life who were just like, why don't you direct this? And I think at first I was like, well, no, I don't direct documentaries. I just write, produce, story produce, whatever.
Right.
In the context of what we're doing, of producing documentaries, there's I'm not like a number spreadsheet producer. I'm more of a creative producer.
Oh, that's interesting. Tell me a little bit more about your role on these docs.
Yeah, you use the term producer oftentimes, and people think, oh, you're finding the money, or you're hiring the crew, or you're running the spreadsheets with the budget. And
Right.
producers, a lot of producers do that, but like there are creative producers, and there's no delineation.
Right.
Like sometimes I see like I'm the like director's like not a creative assistant. Like we're going over questions together. It gets a little steep right here.
Whoa, here we should flip around. Let's see. Here, you go first. I'll be filming
Whoa,
if you
wow.
fall.
Stunt man.
Okay, here I go. Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. Man, you have the distinction of being the first guest to take me on a hike in the Hollywood Hills here. Although
Definitely not Hollywood. The Glassell Park Hills.
the Glassell Park Hills. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like we're writing the questions together. We're looking into the edit together. We're navigating, okay, we want to go film this day with this character. How are we going to position, how are we going to frame this? How are we going to position this?
This sounds like directing in a way
Well,
already.
so I guess Luke and I did a documentary series for Showtime in 2018 called Action. And it was a 4-hour exploration of sports betting, the legalization of sports betting in America.
Okay.
And part of the show was we were going to go to Vegas and Atlantic City, and we're going to like find unique characters who live within the world of sports gambling.
Right.
So like your bookies, your odds makers, your touts, your handicappers, your high rollers, your
Yeah.
degenerates, your addicts.
Right.
And-
I still think about that series sometimes when I'm watching sports and, you know, DraftKings is
Oh, yeah.
sponsoring everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I flash to all the different characters that you just mentioned, because you guys did such a great job of sort of covering the spectrum of like the sad gambler
Yes,
who
yes,
is not winning and whose life
Yes.
is just so dominated by
yes. His
his addiction.
Yeah.
But then you have the guy who's like way overconfident and
Oh,
has like
Vegas Dave.
Vegas Dave, who has like all the ostentatious bling and
Yeah.
you know he's basically an influencer because he's telling you, he's bragging about
How much he's won.
how much he's won.
Yeah.
And then you have the who I'm thinking these might be the same guy, the guy who's in the wheelchair. Is there a guy in a wheelchair?
No, there was a guy. No.
I'm thinking of this like sad brown apartment.
Oh yes, that's Ty. He was our like lovable loser, for better or worse.
Okay.
How you phrase him. He was somebody who clearly like was addicted to gambling,
Right.
and he was also addicted, as we talk about too. Is he's addicted to food.
Yeah.
So he was overweight, and we talk about how like addictions are kind of all the same. Like there are people who are more prone to be addicted, and it's not just gambling or drugs. It's food. It's it's all these things that can addict you, that can compel you to like do
Sure.
things that are bad for you. Because gambling in and of itself is not bad for you. Neither is food, but it's like it's
If you
how you
overdo
handle it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we're working on that project. By the nature of it, we only had like 5 months to do it. So 4 hours in 5 months, and we had to start from scratch. We didn't have any of these characters. So like essentially like Luke was the director, but just because we had so much work to do, and it's an ensemble, and we were filming oftentimes different units at the same time. Sorry, big tree right here. You gotta duck down.
Whoa, oh yeah, look at that.
I would just have to go direct a unit, like by proxy, but just because I know the story just as well as Luke does, and
Right.
I gotta get like we're filming all of our gamblers watching a playoff game, and so
So you
one
need
of
to
them's in Atlantic City, one of them's in Vegas. So like I get on a plane to Atlantic City and I go direct that unit,
Right.
and I really enjoyed that. And it wasn't too like, it's the same. It's you just have to you have to like be ready for the chaos, and I
Yes.
think I enjoyed that, and I think that gave me the confidence to know that like, okay, you can direct, like as long as you are like have a good grasp on what the story is. The act of being on set and directing isn't too much
Yeah.
for you.
Right. Well, that's great. Okay, so
Yeah.
then you build up your confidence
Yeah.
to be a director,
Mm-hmm.
and how does Facing Nolan come about?
I, like a lot of people during the pandemic, watched the Michael Jordan documentary
Yeah, sure.
like 6 times.
Oh wow!
and
You
I was
watched it
like-
6 times?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot going on then. And I was very like inspired, but also like a little jealous, like
Uh-huh.
it's like, I wish I could have done that, like,
I know exactly that feeling. When I watch an amazing documentary, I get
yeah, you get a little
both
jealous.
amped up and sort of down in the dumps. Like,
Right.
why haven't I made
Yes. So I was just like driving through, I think I was driving from Texas back to LA, and I was just thinking, I was like, who is my Michael Jordan? And like, who's a Texas Michael Jordan? And like, it's Nolan Ryan. Like he's kind of the legend icon that people in Texas, he's from Texas, he played in Texas, and there's definitely enough to fill a movie about.
That is such an interesting way to conceive of a project. I really love that anecdote because it helps me understand how your mind works, where
Yeah.
you're like thinking about ideas for movies based on a movie that you really loved, but
Yeah.
transposing it
Right.
to your experience,
Right,
right? So
right.
it's not like I want to go make a basketball documentary that is equally as good. It's what's my version of that
Right.
story.
Right, exactly. And we were just lucky enough to know a couple people who knew Nolan's kids. Like that's as simple as it was. Like
Yeah.
my producer's dad used to be a plumber, an electrician.
Yeah.
and he used to do plumbing and electrician work for a guy who used to pitch with Nolan Ryan.
No way.
And so that dude reached out to that guy. That guy reached out to Nolan's son.
Oh, come on.
And Nolan's son was like, well, we've been thinking about something like this. Like, sure, I'll talk. These guys are from Texas. Okay, we'll talk to them. And then there were more little like circumstantial things like, oh, you know this part? Oh, you know, Texas is kind of a small, like it's the biggest state in the world, but like, sometimes weirdly people know each other who know each other, and people talk. And
the older I get, the more I'm convinced that we all know each other eventually.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Especially people that do what we do, which
yes,
it feels like there's so many, but at the end of the day, the people who do it for long periods of time are actually not that many, and you overlap, and you know people who know people, and
totally. We pitched the family, and then we, because apparently we learned this later, Nolan didn't want to do it.
Oh,
because it was more of a, I'm a humble guy.
Yes, I don't want to brag.
Yeah, and he's like he doesn't like to be in the spotlight.
Yeah, I mean, he was like that as a player.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think his family, especially his wife, they were just like, we followed you around the country as a baseball player for 27 years. Like, you're going to do this for us. Like, this isn't for you. This is for your kids and your grandkids and their kids. And blah, blah, blah.
Interesting. Like a way to cement his legacy.
Yes, I think so.
So when you had that meeting with him, describe that and tell me like what was going through your head going into that.
I don't know, because they're all so kind and Texas charming, nice, and like I remember we had the meeting with the whole family minus Nolan at their offices, and I think the meeting went well enough because like they then introduced us to him and just like shook his hand. And luckily, like my producer Russell is an avid, like he owns a ranch, and Nolan's a big rancher. And so like they started talking about ranching, and I think like weirdly like that helped.
Oh, funny.
Because like I don't know anything about ranching.
Right.
But like my producer is like, oh, you own ranch around the Nogales River? Like, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll let you guys talk.
And this is Russell Wayne Groves.
Russell Wayne Groves, producer extraordinaire.
Producer extraordinaire, that's right. Yeah, he and I are working on my Onion doc together. That
oh my gosh.
It looks like it will never be made. Okay, so then, all right, so they start talking about ranching, and when do you jump in and seal the deal?
Well, then we had another like a couple weeks went by and we didn't hear anything, and I thought, oh, this is not going to go well.
Well, wait, back up to that, because I would assume at that first meeting, I would assume that, you know, he's like a childhood hero of yours.
Right.
And so suddenly you're sitting in a room with him.
I didn't sit in a room with him.
Oh, this is over.
They introduced, no. We sat in a room. I flew in from LA and I met his wife and his two kids, his two sons.
Okay.
And we talked to them for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it was lovely and great. And then that meeting went well. And then they were just like, we were literally leaving and they're like, oh, here's Nolan, come say hi. And I shook his hand, and it was definitely like, oh, this is cool, but it was very quick and very like, not abrupt, but it was like,
you weren't going to stay.
And it was like, you passed the test, you meet, here's Nolan.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if he was like, just going to smell test us a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I flew back to LA and didn't hear anything. We didn't hear a yes or a no for 3 or 4 weeks. And then we got like, okay, Nolan wants a Zoom where you just talk to him for an hour.
Okay.
And so we did that, and it was he was asking just like very normal questions. Like, not like, he's not asking like, what sort of lenses are you going to use? And he was more just like, well, how much are you going to need from me?
Right. Like, what is this going to look like?
And then he was like, well, how long is this going to take?
Right.
So very like more, he just wanted like basic questions. Yeah. And I guess that went well enough. And like maybe 2 months after that, we were on set filming.
Wow. It happened that fast.
Well, yeah, because the money got raised almost instantly, because you say the word Nolan Ryan
and people,
someone with oil money is going to want to fund, like, that's just how
right.
Nolan Ryan is like the governor of Texas.
Yeah,
like,
he really is.
He's kind of like the unofficial mascot.
Well, he's everything that Texans admire, right?
Right.
He's
Stoic.
Hardworking, stoic, humble, award-winning. I mean, he's like, he's a Texas character. He's larger than life.
He's got that great accent.
Yeah.
He's from a small town that no one had heard of until he came from it.
And the thing that I remember as a kid being a fan of his was his exercise bike routine.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Where
Yeah.
After
of course.
every game,
Yep.
no matter what, like even there's famous stories of him like pitching
The no-hitter.
the
Yeah.
no-hitter, and
Yeah.
then he goes and he rides his exercise bike
Yeah.
for, what was it?
45 minutes.
45 minutes,
Yeah.
no matter what,
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
And there's something about that is just so
Yeah.
not only Texan, but like sort of all American, you know, where it's
Yes.
like you're not in it for the accolades.
You're in it to do a job. And you want to do it the best you possibly can.
Yep, and do it well.
Yeah.
And it's not about going and talking to the press and bragging and
Right.
all that. And then I met him as a kid. We lived in Galveston when I was in 8th and 9th grade.
So cool.
And there was this barbecue restaurant in this tiny town. And we were commuting back from one of my high school football games.
Okay.
It must be where he lives now that I think about it.
Alvin?
It must have been in Alvin.
Yeah.
And
Because he lived in Alvin when he played for the Astros, too. He
Okay.
grew up there, too.
okay, and Galveston's, not far from Houston. So
Right. Yeah.
we would have been, I guess, in Alvin, and we knew that was the barbecue restaurant that he would go to. And sure enough, while we're having dinner, he walks in.
Of course.
And I run up with like a Sharpie and my Nolan Ryan card, and he signed it.
Yeah, of course.
And it was like,
that's
super,
awesome.
humble and very, very, like we didn't talk. It was just, here you go. Like it was very
You're not going to...
to the point.
Yeah, you're not going to you're not going to just gab with him,
Right.
But if you talk to him about something he's interested in, he'll go all day. And it's usually not even baseball. He's not that interested in baseball.
Interesting.
He's more interested. I mean, I think he is interested in baseball, but I think he's more interested in ranching and cattle and his
Right.
kids and his grandkids. And,
Yeah. See, again, all American. Like it's not even about it's being the best for you.
Yes.
And not really thinking about what other people are doing.
Yeah,
so much.
exactly.
Man. So then Facing Nolan, you raise the money quickly.
Yeah.
You shoot the movie quickly.
Yes.
It premieres at South by.
Yes.
And then what happens?
It came out it was this too, especially with documentaries, you're probably on year 7 of The Onion, and
Yeah.
every single documentary I've worked on has taken multiple years. Every feature documentary I've worked on has taken multiple years.
Yeah.
And this one took 1 year on the
Wow.
dot.
Wow.
Literally from first day of filming to wrapping principal photography was less than a year.
That is
And then
unheard of.
finishing, I think we started in November, and I remember we did all the finishing and sound in January of the next year. So that was 13 months, 14 months,
That is incredible.
which is it's pretty unheard of. And it's also the story's already been told. So we're not trying to capture a present day
right.
narrative with Nolan, because I
Although
think
there are some nice scenes of him now with his
Yeah.
grandkids.
yes,
And,
I wanted that present day feeling that he's still a guy that one of my favorite scenes that we filmed is him. He's doing a charity event with Pete Rose,
Oh, wow.
and the two of them are just goofing off on stage in front of some people donating to charity. But it was a great way to include him doing something active
Yeah.
in the moment. And it's freaking Pete Rose.
What was Pete Rose like?
Pete Rose is exactly what you would think he would be. He's funny. He's abrasive. He'll just tell you exactly what he thinks. But if you I looked up some deep history about him before I interviewed him for the first time. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, your 4,000th hit was against the Montreal Expos. And he was like, that's right. And I could tell he was like, oh, this guy at least knows something that he's talking about. But he didn't know that. I looked it up 20 minutes before he walked in. But
That's great.
also, he liked talking about Nolan. I think, all these guys like to talk about Nolan because I think they were just this Nolan Ryan is the ultimate competitor, the ultimate
Totally.
battler.
Well, he also, to get nerdy about baseball for a
Uh-huh.
second, he was confounding because a lot of great pitchers have an array of pitches and they sort of outthink you so
Right.
that it becomes this chess match
Right.
strategy. And Nolan Ryan wasn't like that. He had a fastball
He had a fastball and a curveball.
that people couldn't hit.
Yeah.
And it was because it sort of went up. It
Yeah, the
defied-
illusion of rising.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is so weird. And
Yeah.
he did that for 27 seasons.
27 seasons, yeah.
And you would think you know, after the first couple, people would figure out how to hit him,
Right.
and they just never figured it out. And so it's this like kind of amazing story of a guy just being really good
Yeah.
at one or two things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that making him one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think one of my favorite, stats, like he led the league in strikeouts of all time, but he also has the most walks of anybody too. And that's just like that's, and like someone was like, should we include that? That's kind of a dig on him. And I'm like, I don't think it's a dig on him.
No.
I think it's
It
a
shows that-
testament to him.
Yeah.
Like, of course they're going to fail of course they're going to walk people.
Well, that's what I love so much about baseball. And
Yeah.
again, not to get too inside baseball,
LOL. Yeah.
that's kind of what makes it so exciting to watch is like the best players fail 2/3 of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. If you succeed 1/3 of the time in baseball, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy. And it's such an analogy in a way
Yeah.
for what we do because there's so much rejection
So much rejection.
in filmmaking, and you have
Oh, yeah.
ideas batted down left and right,
Yep,
and
yep.
can't get access to stories you want to tell,
Yep.
or can't get funding,
Yep.
or any number of things prevent you.
Well, it's an opinions-based industry too. So like someone, I had a script a couple of years ago that like very excited about it. The first 2 people that read it were very dismissive of it. And I was like, oh God, this script sucks. Like we didn't do a good job. My writing partner and I didn't do a good job. And then the next person who read it, like ended up selling it for us.
Oh, wow.
And it's been like the one script that has like helped us get more work deep down the line. And it's all opinions. It's all about, does somebody like this or dislike this? And as you know, like art is deeply, deeply subjective.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
scripts are even more subjective because they're not the finished product.
Right. So you have to be able to see
Right.
what the movie can be, the,
Yeah.
the potential in it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's really interesting that you mentioned your writing partner because, as you said earlier, you have documentary filmmaking partners.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're a guy that really likes to collaborate.
I'm no good on my own.
Is that right?
I think I've realized that. I don't think I'm, or I think I'm like a B- on my own.
Funny.
And I think I like elevate, like people elevate me and I elevate people.
Yeah, man, I love that you are clear about that because I feel like I'm that way, but I haven't been very clear about that in my life. I've kind of thought like, oh no, I am somebody that can work well on my own, and I can to an extent, but I
Sure.
find myself over and over wanting to partner
Yeah.
and co-direct, or even with this podcast,
Yeah.
I want to have a co-host with Keith.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
And there's something about the interplay
Yeah.
while making something creative that I just find really deeply
Totally.
satisfying.
Totally. Filmmaking is like the ultimate collaborative medium.
Yeah.
There's no way you can make a movie on your own. I mean, I guess maybe you could, but
I feel like
why-
Steven Soderbergh keeps trying.
yeah, but it's true. Very true. Hey, maybe he's the exception.
So we're out here in LA. You grew up in Houston,
Yep.
went to UT, spent a lot of time in Austin, and you were really successful in Austin. Like I remember when Intramural came out, and this is a comedy that you wrote
Yeah.
while you were an undergrad at UT. And you guys got all of these incredible Saturday Night Live actors, like Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
She's one of my all-time
a
favorite
legend.
comedians.
Yeah.
And you got her to be in your movie along with Beck Bennett and
Yeah.
Jay Farrow and like really
Yeah.
impressive cast. And you were doing all this in Austin and raising money. And
Yeah.
so tell me about the move out here to LA and how it's been for you.
There's 2 parts of the LA move. Or there's like, I think my time in LA can be split definitively into 2 parts. There's like before the pandemic and after the pandemic. Not to like make this about the pandemic, but like I do think that like that has definitively changed how people operate in this industry, purely from the standpoint of like Zoom in. Like nobody meets in person anymore.
Right.
And so like I also think when I moved out here, I was like, oh, maybe I'll like try and be a TV writer. And I think I found out quickly that like that just wasn't a path that I was that interested in or was not opening itself up to me. And so, all right, if I'm like if I'm writing features on my own or with partners, and I'm making these documentaries that are never seemingly ever shot in LA, like you know, what's the point of being out here other than the gorgeous weather? So like, I think that's something that a lot of people are reckoning with right now is like, do you need to be in LA? For some people, I think the answer is yes. And some people love the lifestyle. I mean, there is like incredible lifestyle things here,
Right.
but it's expensive. And you know, yeah, this is neither a pro nor LA commentary. This is just how
your
I'm feeling
experience.
in this moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
That
think
makes
you
sense.
can, I think if you're a creative person now more than ever, if you can find your tribe, if you can like have your clear vision of what you want to do, and you're willing to come out to LA every now and then, like you can definitely like do amazing stuff. Like my two very good friends, Greg Quidar and Clint Bentley, are like
they're
absolutely
crushing
it right now.
Yeah.
And Clint lives in Dallas and Greg lives in Austin.
Right.
And
had
they've
Greg
never
on-
lived out here.
on the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing what they've been able to build up. And you said it right. It's about
Yeah.
finding your collaborators,
Yeah.
your sources of funding,
Yeah.
honestly, because LA historically has been so much about that. Like you need a studio or you
Right.
need a production company with
Right.
money to invest in a development cycle for your project.
Totally.
And that, by and large, is not really the case anymore.
Yeah.
Which is new.
I've not had like an in-person LA meeting in a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you run into people at parties though?
No.
Have you had that experience of like,
No.
Interesting.
No. Mostly because I have two kids and I don't go to parties. That's so, I love that you think that I go to parties. That's so cute.
Well, I have two young kids too, and
Right.
my days of going to parties are certainly over, or not over, just very, very diminished.
You got to pick a party you really want to go to.
Exactly. It's got to be a really good
Right.
party.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So we're coming up on the end of our walk here,
Yeah.
and let's do. At the end, we always do a lightning round.
Okay,
so
great.
Let's do the gateway drug film for you that you saw
Wow.
that made you want to be a filmmaker.
Oh, this is a deeply unexpected choice given the type of movies I make, but it just hit me at the exact right time. It was Requiem for a Dream
Wow.
by Darren Aronofsky.
Yes. I know about that one.
I think it was I don't know. I saw it with a bunch of other film nerds
yeah.
that were my age
Yeah.
at this like little class that I did. And I think I just like, I wasn't expecting it. I'd never heard of it, but wasn't expecting it. And just like the way that he moved, the way that he and his DP moved the camera, the music,
The
just, like,
frenetic
the frenetic editing.
Yeah.
It just, something about it just like rocked me
Yes.
in a way that I was not expecting. So
I was not expecting that answer. I love that.
Yeah,
But yes,
yeah.
That movie, I remember seeing that and really having
yeah.
my eyes opened.
Yeah, I was 17. I was just like, what?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
such a dark movie.
It's so
The
dark.
ending of that movie
Oh,
is
it's-
something I still can't get out of my
I
head.
know.
This is primarily a podcast for other filmmakers, and we like to think like if we were 20 years old and just starting out,
Uh-huh.
we would love to have had something like this where we can listen to other like working filmmakers talk.
Uh-huh.
So what would your advice be to somebody who is a young or aspiring filmmaker?
If you're a writer, do it every day, no matter what. Write every day. I think the best decision that I made in my career was those first couple years.
Should we just go up?
Yeah, let's go up and around. The first couple years, even when I was working like non-film jobs, I would wake up early and go write.
Wow, really cool. So even when you were working with my sister at Compass Learning, like
I would
you
go write. I would go to the Starbucks, like near the office, and I would like get there at like 6:45 or 7,
Wow.
and write for like an hour and a half.
That is one thing that I know about you that I've always
Yeah.
really admired is like you wrote a feature screenplay that got produced while you were an undergrad at UT in Intramural.
Yes. I wrote the first draft of that. To be fair, I wrote that first draft during undergrad, and then I rewrote it probably 50 times, and then it finally got made when I was 27. So like, there is a lot of time and rewrites. That's the other piece of advice, and I'm still learning this to this day, is your first draft, your scripts don't get good until like the 4th or 5th or 6th draft.
Gotcha.
And that's so hard
Yes.
to wrap your mind around, especially, I hate to say, the older I get, the more I think that I'm like so good, and I'm not. It's like, you just don't, and it's not even a fact of being good. I think it's just like, you write something and you fall in love with it,
Yeah.
and then you don't realize that like, these are just the scramblings of a madman.
Right.
And we
writing
need to-
is rewriting.
Writing is
Yeah.
rewriting and getting, and especially if it's a film where people are going to be spending money on it, and trying to, hire actors, you have to like be so conscientious of things. And so,
Right.
yeah, I mean, like the scripts, the movie of Intramural represented probably the 14th draft, 15th draft. I don't know.
Wow.
Like, so yeah.
But I was going to say, to finish the compliment, that I've always known that you're a really hard worker, that you're,
Thanks.
producing documentaries, you're directing them, you're writing screenplays, you're getting hired to write screenplays, you're writing young adult novels, which you didn't even talk about. So I have this view of you that you're a hard worker who's always juggling multiple projects.
Yeah, I mean, it's like somewhat by necessity. Like, I think you have to be, that's the other thing too, is like, we can turn around here too.
Okay.
I think it's like,
Oh yeah, look, and here's the sign for Mount Washington.
yeah, there it is.
Right here across the street.
Yeah. I definitely have known some people that they hyper focus on one or two things.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can do that. But I think you have to be like you have to be a professional juggler
Right.
at times. You have to be like, okay, I'm writing this script. I'm trying to get this documentary off the ground. I'm working on a pitch.
Yep. I'm directing a commercial.
Yeah, exactly. Just because I think like, one, we got bills to pay.
Yep.
And two, I think it keeps you sharper. And oftentimes, like, the more experience you get, I found myself to become a better writer after every documentary that I'd made. Because it's like, I've just had a whole bunch of life experience.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot about a new subject I didn't know about that I can add to my arsenal of screenwriting tricks and whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what is the thing that you can't stop thinking about right now?
Thing that I can't stop.
Like, is it a
thinking
book you're
about.
reading? Is it AI? Is it where your kid's going to go to school? Like, what is it? It could be anything.
Maybe it's a little bit of like, is UT going to beat A&M on Friday? Probably not, but I'd love them to. No, I think it's yeah, I just had a new baby, and I think it's like, how am I gonna provide for this kid? That's definitely a big part of it. And
Well, Francis Ford Coppola's advice to young filmmakers,
have a family.
right?
Yeah,
Yep.
have a
Get
family.
married and have kids,
Yep.
because then it puts
Yep.
the pressure on you to perform.
Yep.
And without that pressure,
Yep, 100%.
you're not as good.
You're not, pressure makes diamonds.
Exactly.
So, and if hopefully his family inspired him to make Megalopolis, like.
I did not see it.
I haven't either. I want to,
really want
but
to
I actually
so bad.
want to watch the documentary more than I want to. Like, I feel like I have to watch the movie and then I can watch the documentary,
Right.
which I believe is called MEGADOC.
Oh, amazing.
And I really want to.
Every time I hear him interviewed in modern day, I'm so impressed.
Oh yeah.
He is an incredible spinner of yarns.
And I've had so many people who have like had interactions with him that it makes me like so jealous that I haven't had one. Like, I have like 3 people that I've had long conversations with that are like, let me tell you my Francis Ford Coppola story. And I'm like, God, I need more time. I need him to stay alive so I can have like some sort of interaction with him.
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, fingers
Absolutely.
crossed. Put it out there.
And leads us nicely to the last question, which is dream collaborator.
Ben Steinbauer.
Yay!
No,
well, your dreams came true.
Here we go.
Bradley.
Dream collaborator. Oh shit. Wow, great question. Dream collaborator. Oh my God. I'm gonna give you a couple of answers. The Duplass Brothers.
Ooh, okay.
Bill Hader. Although part of me would be too nervous to work with Bill Hader because I think I would only work with him like as an actor, I think. Because I think he's a writer, right? He does his own thing.
Oh, he's so very
And I would be
so
so
good.
nervous to like direct him
Yeah.
because I would be like, oh, you directed Barry, like you know what you're doing more than me. So maybe not Bill Hader. I would work with Bill Hader in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me? And Mike Schur.
Oh, interesting.
Mike Schur.
Do you know that he has a baseball podcast?
Yes, I've listened to it. That's another reason why I wanna.
Yeah.
Because I think like if we met, he would like me. That's something I deeply feel.
I'm
think
sure he's seen Facing Nolan.
that's the thing. I think maybe that's why I want to work with him. Because like I just heard him on a podcast with Amy Poehler, and he seems like the much more successful, kind, smart, nice. It's like me 4.0. Like I'm like a B. I'm like a D minus, and he's like an A plus. But we're in the same like strata.
You're the same class.
We both are comedy nerds who love baseball, who love writing, and who love working with actors. He's just a lot more successful and better in all of facets of life than me. So I think I wanted to elevate
right
me.
now, but
Right.
not for long.
No, I doubt it. But I appreciate it. Yeah.
Man,
So,
this has been great. Thank
Yes.
you so much. Yeah, is there anything that we talked to, or that we didn't talk about that you want to talk about? Like, should we tell people where to see FACING NOLAN, find any of your other work?
No, I mean, like, let's see here. Yeah, FACING NOLAN is no longer on Netflix, which is a bummer, but it's on iTunes and Amazon. You can rent it there. MILLI VANILLI is a documentary I'm really proud of. That's on Paramount Plus. And yeah, go. Yeah, I don't know. That's
Are you on social media?
I am, but I don't do anything on it. I don't look at it anymore because
Because you're trying to
'Cause
protect
I'm-
your mental health, and you have 2 young kids.
I have 2
and
kids.
You're busy.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for doing this.
Of course,
Brendan.
man. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Cut. Next time on DocWalks, I walk with American photographer, documentary filmmaker, and visual artist Pete Muller. He's here in Austin to show his new documentary Bucks Harbor as part of AFS's Doc Days. And Pete and I do something new to the show. We walk not outside, but through the Blanton Museum of Art. It was a true treat, an absolute pleasure to get to meet Pete, to look at priceless works of art, to talk about making art. I hope that you will stick around and listen to that one next time on DocWalks.
DocWalks is created, produced, and edited by my friend Ben Steinbauer of The Bear.
Hello. And my friend Keith Maitland of Go Valley.
Thanks for tuning in.
Follow us at DocWalks Pod on Instagram, X, and YouTube.